All right, so, all righty. So a little bit about me, as Angel explained, born and raised in Vesper, went to Lincoln High School. I currently live on 54 near Club Forest in Plover. I have a beautiful wife, a 15-year-old stepson, and a 10-month-old daughter. I like to make the joke that they're my hobbies. I was informed that kids are not hobbies, and that's totally true, but their hobbies are my hobbies. So right now, my hobbies include traveling around the valley for JV baseball, and little kid puffs are a big deal right now, and crawling. So those are my hobbies at the moment. I have 5 years of cold calling experience, 3 years in my industry. I've also had to travel around the Midwest doing cold calls, even in Gary, Indiana, which was very interesting experience. So, all right. So like I said, memes are going to be part of this. So yes, Steve Carell is going to be a part of the memes. So yes, I'm ready to get hurt again when we go into cold calls. All right. Today we'll be covering 2 types of cold calls. I know there's other ones like, emails, mailing, Indeed, things like that. I'm going to handle kind of the more 2 that I'm very familiar with. Phone calls is one, and then business to business is kind of my go-to. All right, some topics that we will be covering today is prepping your calls. That is one of the more important things that people don't think about. We will be practicing some intros and approaches that I use, using names that we generate to our advantage, getting referrals, and then how to use those referrals. All right, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Cold calling is extremely tough, right? There's a lot of no's, there's a lot of mean people out there. Yes, it's a mental grind. You just have to stay focused and stay positive as much as you can. It is a numbers game. Unfortunately, some people are more open to talking than others, and that's okay. You just got to understand that no's are a part of the process, and you just have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. All right. So I like to say this is one of my favorite sayings. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Even if you are a master at this, there are some people that are just going to say no and not want anything to do with this. And you can also go out there and stumble through a presentation, and this product is absolutely perfect for them, that they need it. It's going to be okay. They're going to want to take it. And part of that is giving yourself grace, that there are just people out there that are just not willing to talk to you, and that's okay. All right. Prepping your calls. Okay, first thing is know what you're going to say when you either hop on a phone call or go into a business. Practice it, spend time with it. When I worked for one of the companies, they sent me off for a week just to learn their sales script. And it's still ingrained and embedded in the back of my head. I will never forget it. So know what you're going to say. It helps for when you get in tough situations, something to fall back on. Know who you're going to call on. When I go business to business, I try to do some research the day before or the night before and find 20 businesses that I'm going to want to go see that day. It helps and takes a lot of thinking out of the process where our mind's already racing, not wanting to do cold calls to begin with. For phoning, I also have a list of 50 people with phone numbers that I'm going to call. So I hang up, boom, I just hop on another call right away, and don't think how bad the last one went or get too high on how the last one went. Another one is relax, be yourself, be confident. One of my favorite lines to say is be yourself, everyone else is taken. Basically, know what you're good at and what your personality brings. I like to be fun. I like to be energetic, funny. I'm not the most professional person out there. I've worked with people that are extremely professional. They are very good with high-end people. Me, I'm more of a blue-collar guy. I like talking to blue-collar people. So I just try to get my personality out to those people. We have a question in the chat. I like that. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Perfect. Thanks, Brooke. Okay, another one. Know your metrics. Every business has some sort of a metric, or field has some sort of a metric. For me, 25 business calls is going to equal to probably about 6 meetings, which is going to lead to 1 sale. Now, when I phone, it's probably 60 phone calls to 25 reaches to 8 to 10 appointments to 1 sale. So I love this meme. Cold calling, 10% of the time, it works every time. All right. So how do I get my cold calls to be warmer? Great question. I'm so glad everyone asked. All right. First thing is understand the psychology behind sales and cold calls. I went to Lincoln. I had Bob Galetta as my psychology teacher in my junior year. I really wish I would have paid attention in class because I saw him a couple of years ago. I'm like, man, I really wish I truly dug in and understood this, not just for business, but just personal life as well. But some business side of things, humans just want to talk to humans. If you're just going to go in there and be a salesperson, people are just going to shut off and not want to talk to you. People want to be comfortable with you and they want to trust you. One of the main lines when I train people is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. If take anything today, take that with you. Okay, we have another question in chat. The memes are fantastic. Thanks, Hannah. All right, building rapport. This is a huge thing. So it's extremely important to connect with the person. Do your best to understand their passions. Things that help me build rapport is know local events, what's going on in the community, local sports teams, rafters. I always make sure I know the score of the Raptors game the night before. High school sports, know what teams are doing well. People just love to know all that stuff. And understand their business problems that are going on. So like right now, everyone can't really hire anyone or struggling to hire. Bring it up. Understand that, you know, it's okay that this problem's here. We're going to try to help to fix it and just build that connection and understand their problems. So another meme. I wish I was that skinny and that elegant. All right. Avoid trigger words. Know your industry's trigger words. Avoid them as much as possible. I'm in the insurance agent or in the insurance world. I know no one wants to hear the word insurance. So when I go talk to somebody, I do my best to say the word benefits over insurance. It's just, you know, all the time I hear, oh, you're just the insurance guy. Yeah, awesome, great. Love hearing that, and and people get turned off when they hear that as well. So do your best. Everyone's trigger words are different. All right, time for cold calling. And on that note, we're gonna have a quick little coffee break. Any questions at this moment?
Colton, I have a quick question. When you talk about trigger words, is that something you can just Google, or is that something that's just learned as you get comfortable in your industry?
I think for me, it was just more learning as I went on. You can Google them. You might have them out there. For me, it was just beat the fire on that one. So, all right, time for cold calling. All right, intros and approaches. So a few things about approaches. Don't sell on your feet, sell a sit down. I see a lot of people, they go into the approach and then they try to sell while they're just standing there. Sell yourself to have a meeting with them so they can fully understand. I like to say, sell the sizzle, not the steak. So once again, just give them a quick overview. We'll get into the meat and potatoes when we sit down. Go low and slow. I'm probably one of the people that are racing through today just because I'm a little nervous. Not gonna lie, but the best thing is to go super quiet, super slow. Because even when you think you're talking normal, probably talking too fast. All right, so we're going to jump into going business to business. So say we're just walking into a business, cold call, no one knows we're coming. The first thing I like to do, talk about anything other than what I'm there for. So what I do is try to pull a compliment out, talk about the weather. Like this morning, it was a beautiful fall day here in Wisconsin. Anything you can think of, if you see something cool in their shop or in, just look around, like, oh, that's really neat. Where'd you find that? Or if you're in someone's office, like they have memorabilia up or pictures at a concert, talk about it a little bit, bring down their walls. Another thing I like to do is try to make them laugh before you talk anything business related. So once again, that just kind of ties along with the other one. Once again, know what you're going to say. We'll go over some things that I'm going to say as well when I go into businesses, but tailor some sort of script together to help you along the way. Use 2 to 3 names in your approach. We'll dig deeper into that shortly. Know of your objections. So every industry that people are going to tell you, I have this product already with this person, or we don't need this, I'm fine. Things along that line. Know those. Once again, you can Google them, or you can put your feet to the fire and just go out and find out what they are when you talk to people. I always say go for 2 no's. A lot of people go for 3 no's. I think 2 no's is plenty, but some people like to push the envelope. I don't like to make people mad at me. So here's a little bit of a script that I use for myself. So when I go into a business, is what I say, hey, how's it going? Have a short conversation about something. And then when I make them laugh, and I'm like, hey, I'm Colton with ABC Company, and you are Angel. Nice to meet you. I was just catching up with Heather at the radio station, Michael for financial planning, and then Heather at the chamber. And I'm the one in charge of catching up with all the local businesses here in town. And I wanted to catch you as well. I stopped in here for 2 reasons. One is just to introduce myself, and the second is to show you what ABC Company does for many businesses in the local area. I was just wondering if you have a place to sit down. Pretty simple. Anyone have any questions about that? Why I say what I say? No? Okay, moving on. So did it work? Great. Enjoy your meeting. It didn't work? That's okay. So once again, what objections did you hear? People say, no, thanks. I'm busy. I already have something like that handles that service. Not this time, maybe down the road. Okay. Those things happen. So once, okay, we don't give up yet. Ooh, okay. So I have a couple, I call my secondary approach and my third approach as well. First one is, someone's like, nah, it's not really for me. Or I have someone that already handles that. I say, I totally get it. These are not the most fun topics to talk about. It only takes a few minutes to show you how it can help. At that point, if it's not for you, let me know. I'm easy to get rid of, and give them a big old cheesy smile. And then I have usually a 50% rate on people being like, okay, I'll give you a couple minutes to at least look at it. And then there are the people that are super busy, which is totally fine. Walk into a restaurant at noon. This is something you just kind of go to right away. But once again, you just say their name. So like Angel, I completely understand. I pull out my calendar. Paper calendars are very important for this one. I usually work great off of appointments anyways. When would be a good time to catch you for 10, 15 minutes? And then you give them a choice of two positives and you kind of lead them into a spot. And also being busy, or people that are busy, like working with busy people as well. So I pull out my calendar and I give them two options that make it seem, whether I am or not, I have, let's just say I have Monday morning or Monday in the afternoon open, and I have, let's say Wednesday morning. Which one of those work best for you? And then I just put my head in my calendar and I sit there until they say something. I always say whoever talks first there loses. So I just put my head in my calendar, wait for them to pick a date, and then we go from there. Any questions on that? Okay. Phoning time. The approach for this, it's a little different than business to business. Business to business, it can be a little bit more rapport building in the front. Phoning, you really have to catch them in the first 10 to 15 seconds with what you want to say to get their attention. People don't want to sit there on their phone, so you just got to get it out right away what you want to say. Main part for phoning is just setting appointments for a longer conversation. Smile and dial. As cliche and cheesy as that sounds, it works. People can sense your demeanor through the phone, and they can also sense your tone. So if you're just droggy and sad, they can hear that. If you're really happy, they can sense that as well. So yes, unfortunately, smile and dial. And once again, know what you're going to say. Phoning's easier to use a script because you can have the script right in front of you and no one can tell. So, sometimes if I'm calling on a different style of clients, I will write out what I want to say and I have it right in front of me. So I literally can just go word for word what I want to say right away. So this is what my phoning approach looks like. So, hey, Angel, this is Colton from ABC Company. How are you doing today? That's great to hear. The reason I'm calling today is because I would like to show you our product can help your business. I know you are an extremely busy person, and right now is probably not a good time to talk. When would be a good time to schedule for 10 to 15 minutes? So you just get kind of straight to the point and see what they say. And if it works, great. Set a meeting and enjoy it. It didn't work. Know what objections or what objections did you hear? And you hear, no thanks. I'm too busy. Not now. And my favorite, they just hang up. And that's okay. And that will happen. So a few second approaches I have with them. I totally understand how you feel, Angel. I'm just asking for a few minutes of your time to show you the product. If it's not for you at that point, I will cross you off my list. Another one is when people are busy. I get that you're busy, Angel. You're busy. I'm busy as well. That's why I won't take up too much of your time. If I at least show you, then you can make an educated decision and know what you're saying no to. Is that fair? Perfect. Any questions on those? All right, moving along. Okay, now did you get a yes? And then you say, great. I had either Monday morning available or Wednesday afternoon. What day works best for you? Once again, give them the choice of two positives. All right. Now, using names to our advantage. So use all names given to you. This is going to be kind of more business to business, but you can use past calls to your advantage, even if they're not a client yet. Use them for future cold stops. So, I'm out and I'm on a strip mall. I get booted out of one business and I can be like, yeah, I just met Jim at the auto store and then Jill at the salon next door. I just wanted to meet you as well. So using those names gives you conviction that people know you, and people are probably know their neighbors, so they feel more comfortable with you walking in the door, knowing that you've already talked to people they know. Okay, make the names 3D. This is where good salespeople become really great in the field. Make the names come to life. Tell a story with the name. It gives you a lot of credibility. So it's like, yeah, when I was at John's auto shop, I really had, he had a really cool 69 Ford Mustang in the back, and his guard dog Rex, he had a mean bark, but turned into a teddy bear after you pet him. So people that have been to John's auto shop will know that he has that Ford Mustang, and they know he probably has that dog. So not only are you just making yourself a lot more credible, people know that other people have brought down their walls for you. Once again, it just ties back in with all the psychology of things. So now we're going to move from like the approaches to getting referrals from the meetings that we set from the approaches. So hello, is it leads you're looking for? So why referrals? Referrals have much higher success rate of meetings set on sales. Once again, you work with people that already trust you, and you work, or when you work with new clients that know past clients, they're more willing to work with you because they trust the people that you're already working with. All right. So where to get referrals? You can get referrals from anyone. It's as simple as asking business owners' names to the next business you're going to. When you're cold calling B2B, it's calling up friends or family. It's stopping into the chamber and say, hey, Angel, who are 2 or 3 cool new people I should go to see? She probably hates me that I do that a lot. Okay, so when to ask? You can ask at end of meetings, at the end of an approach. Hey, you can just call friends up or clients up and ask. Simple as that. So things you can say is, hey, John, I know you see the value in my product I showed you today. Who do you know that would see the same value? You can do that when you have a phone call with somebody or at the end of a presentation. You can also say, hey, John, I know this product wasn't for you. Do you know anyone I can talk to that would be a good fit for? That's when you talk to people that are just not that interested or approach didn't go that well. Also at the end of an approach, thanks for your time. By the way, who's the owner of the business next door to you? So that can help you a lot in the approach as well, just because, hey, you can walk into that business and have a name already to search for. So, and you can also just call up friends. Hey, John, I was wondering if you can help me out. I'm looking for more people to help with my product. I was wondering if you could give me some names of some people that I could talk to and see if my product is a good fit for them as well. So, and just keep it light and casual. And you're going to run into objections too. So what if people don't want to give you referrals or are struggling to give you names? Great question. I'm so glad everyone asked. So referral objections is, I don't know anyone. I'm not friends with anyone. Well, everyone's friends with somebody. Also, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, and we'll show you some memory joggers for that. And a lot of times I hear, oh, I'll talk to them first and then I'll get back to you. I'm going to tell you right now, they are probably not going to talk to that person and they are not getting back to you. So how do we go over that? When I hear all the time of, oh, I'll talk to them and get back to you, this is what I say. I appreciate that you want to reach out on your own, John. I just know that when you will get busy and probably forget, and that's okay. You are a busy person. If you don't mind, I would just like to reach out myself. The reason why is because I couldn't do your job in 10 minutes and I don't expect you to do mine either. I'll give them a quick call, explain what I do so they can make an educated decision for themselves. Does that sound fair? And then usually at that point, their walls break down. Okay, yeah, here's their phone number. Okay. Then also you get the people that are like, I don't know anyone, or I don't have any friends. So sometimes you have to give them some memory joggers. My favorite one is, hey, who are the last 3 people you text or called? And then usually you get their phone out, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to get a lot more names than 3, because they're just going to keep going, scrolling and finding more names. Who's your favorite coworkers? Like Angel, they're all her favorite coworkers, so she gives me all their names. Some other people are, what's your favorite businesses you like to visit? Who are some friends that recently got engaged or married? That's a little bit more on our industry that we like to use a lot. My favorite Wisconsin one is, hey, if you're going to go to a fish fry, who are we calling? So usually they're going to give you their best friend or their parents or their family. So that's usually kind of a fun one to use. All right. So now that we got referrals, how do we use them? So thanks, Oprah, for the meme on this one. Great question. I'm glad everyone asked again. So intros and approaches with referrals. Yep, this is when we turn the heat up a little bit. Thanks, Gene Simmons, for being in my presentation as well. So calling on referrals, when I go business to business, I'll usually walk into that business again, get to the person I need to talk to. So I go, hey, John, I'm Colton with ABC Company. I was working at Terry over at the car wash, helping his company with our product. I asked if he knew anyone else that he thought would be a good product for them as well, and he thought of you. So I just wanted to come in and introduce myself and catch you for 10 to 15 minutes and show you how this could help your company as well. Usually when you're talking to guys and I'm like, hey, John, Terry gave me your name. They're like, oh, that Terry. Oh, yeah, fine. All right, I'll give you 10, 15 minutes. Once again, those warm leads help because he trusts Terry. Terry trusts John. So they're just going to at least look at what you're doing, whether they take your product or not. At least you're going to get yourself in the door. And then calling on referrals that are more like personal, not just like business to business related. Hey, John, I'm Colton with ABC Company. I'm working with Terry this week, and he gave me your name and wanted me to reach out. He didn't know if this product would be a good fit for you or not, but he thought I should at least find out. I was wondering if I can catch you for 10, 15 minutes to show you what I do. Once again, warm leads are the best, and these meetings set a lot higher than just regular cold calls. So other ways to get warm leads, get involved with your community, do volunteer work, go to local events, use your chamber to your advantage to get warm leads. Thank you, Angel, for all you've done for my business. So other things, take advantage to everything the chamber has to offer. Join chamber leads, go to some of their events, whether it's, lunch by the river, off the clocks. You meet awesome people there. So then later on, when you want to come back and do business with them, they already know you and it's already warm for you. All right, there you have it. I'll go out there and have some fun. So I had to have a Dos Equis meme in there too. Sorry if that's not appropriate. So questions. That's pretty much my presentation.
If anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and we can have that conversation. Or again, if it's more comfortable for you, feel free to drop it in the chat feature as well. So I'll start off. Colton, great presentation. Love the cue about make them laugh before you start that conversation. So you talked a little bit about research for businesses and trying to find the potential leads and things like that. What are some good practices you have found for researching potential clients, specifically for insurance?
So when it comes to insurance, I've learned that everyone can be a prospect, and don't skip businesses because you think they wouldn't be a fit. Some of my businesses come from big corporations that I just work inside there and doing personal things. Sometimes, just to share one story, I was working with a girl. It was her first week out in the field. We pulled up to the salvage yard. It looked super scary. She's like, I don't know if we should go in here. I'm like, well, if you're scared, that means we have to go in there. And then all of a sudden we were there for the rest of the week, signing people up for policies. So for me, I like to just, when I'm researching, I just like to hone in on a certain area where I can get 20 businesses in a day that I'm just going to be like starting at this business and I'm just ending at this business, and I'm catching every business in between. Sometimes when it's a bigger business or I have, some insight stuff on them, I like to go to their websites, learn a little bit about them. Sometimes I will Facebook creep on people. It's okay. It works. It just to learn a little bit about them.
Great, thanks, Colton. I see Brooke dropped in the comment. I believe Colton will be sharing the presentation slide deck with me to send out to everyone along with the video recording. So that would be lovely, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Colton, I had a quick question. You had said people go for 2 but push for 3 no's. What did you mean by that?
So
like when you're presenting something to somebody and they say no, and
that's more of the approach. When I go to approach, the first no is because I'm a salesperson, they don't want to talk to me. The second no is usually they don't understand my product, so they're just going to say no. Some people will push for the third one because they want them to at least have a really good understanding what they're saying no to.
And this is all within the same meeting?
Yep, it's just all in the approach.
Okay.
It's not the actual meeting itself.
Okay.
Everyone's actual meetings are so different. I didn't want to really dive too deep into those.
Okay.
I just kind of wanted to show how to bring people's walls down during the approaches.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
And I was going to ask about that same thing as well, because I've done quite a lot of sales training seminars. And one of the things that I'm often told is that you want to be asking questions to which the answer is only yes. So if you have a question where the answer would naturally be no, you should rephrase it so the answer is yes. Right. So you start off with questions like, hey, you already know that the person has a family, so you have a family, right? And the person says yes. You say, okay, so it would be really great if you took care of your family if something happened to you. And they say yes. And then there's a few more, and then somewhere down the line is, so obviously you want to have insurance. And then of course they've got so used to saying yes, they automatically say yes. So that's a sales technique that I was taught. So is this sort of a variation on that strategy? So you have a few no's to give them the illusion of control?
Correct. Yep. And I've found out it's so like, if you give people the opportunity to say no, they're going to be more willing to say yes as well.
Yeah.
I like to use buying atmospheres in all my presentations. Like, hey, if this is for you, great, we're going to get you taken care of. If it's not, just give me a simple no thanks. So just at the end of the presentation, just give me a simple thumbs up or thumbs down. Is that fair? Nice. And usually people will say yes to that as well.
Yeah, I could see how that would work. Well, thank you. That was a great presentation.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Colton? Oh, go ahead, Michael.
I think with my colleagues and everything like that, the biggest thing I've ever dealt with cold calling phone calls is, what do? Do you leave a message? Do you not leave a message? I've got some guys who just call 3 times in a row and leave a message on the 3rd try. What is your tactic?
3 times in a row, we call it double dialing. That actually works. Yeah. But for me, for phoning, first time I won't leave a voicemail. I'll probably call them a week later, then leave a voicemail. I usually call people 3 times before I don't want to say give up on them, but put them kind of at the back of the line. So
And that's 3 times with no answers, what you're saying, right?
Correct.
And then what percentage of your week would you say you're cold calling?
Ooh.
Any kind.
Every week's different, but I would say I put at least 20 hours a week cold calling.
Okay.
It's probably dropped closer to 15, but I'm getting more referrals now, more warmer as I get down the road. So I have more higher percentage.
Gotcha.
So when you say cold calling, are you talking about phone calls or stopping in and talking to people as well?
Both.
When you say the 15 to 20 or whatever?
Yep, both.
Both. Okay. So back to Michael's question about the leaving the, calling the 3 times, and you said after the 3rd time you kind of stopped. Do you then go in physically visit them, or you just stop?
Depends if it's a business or not. Usually if it's a business, I'll call twice, and the 3rd time I'm going in. If it's just someone personal, I'll just call 3 times, and then I'll push them out to call them again in 6 months.
Okay.
And usually in that,
start walking into homes.
no, one thing I won't do is residential. I'm sorry. I don't like to be bothered at home. I'm not doing it either. But usually on that 3rd voicemail, it's like, hey, I've tried calling a couple times. I just want to set a quick 10-15 minute meeting with you. This will probably be the last time I call. I'll give you a call in 6 months to see maybe if it's a better time. If things changes, give me a call back.
Any other questions or comments for Colton today? Well, wonderful. Well, thank you again, everyone, for coming today. Again, we will definitely send out the recording as soon as it's uploaded to YouTube, along with the slide deck. Our next segment for what month are we? We're going into May. Wow. May, we're hoping to have a speaker from Wood County talk about the broadband initiatives and the broadband desert that part of the county is experiencing. And that'll be the last Wednesday of the month as well. So thank you, Colton, again from Kissinger Insurance Agency, for speaking today, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.